Apple has a history of talking about the environment and saying that they are the most eco-friendly company and that they really care about the environment and they're doing everything they can to protect it. But this article here is talking about how if they really cared, the new iPhone 14 wouldn't exist. And yeah, I like this first thing, right? Can we stop pretending that a few green tinted presentation slides and some recycled gold make the new iPhone in any way sustainable? And it's true, because, you know, I have my new phone. The most sustainable thing I can do now is not buy a new phone, right? Even if this phone was the worst phone for the environment ever created, I have it in my hand now. So the best thing I can do for the environment from this moment forward is to not buy a new phone. Because even if it's all recycled, you know, even if it's all from the most sustainable materials, that phone still has to get shipped to me. Those materials still had to be extracted to create that new phone because I wanted it. So if I hold on to this, that's the most sustainable thing here. So this is very true. As the dust settles on yet another Apple launch event, I can't help but wonder when tech companies are going to wake up and realize that plastic-free packaging and some recycled materials don't make them or their products good for the planet. Their plastic-free packaging is not like solving the climate crisis, right? That's not really what's happening. You know, they're still using non-renewable resources to create their phones. They're still shipping them on most likely, you know, oil-burning ships or trains or trucks. You know, it's still the environmental impact of each individual phone is still big, even though there's no plastic in the packaging. You know, there's still plastic in the phones. So plastic-free, yeah, exactly. It's a politically correct buzzword. You know, plastic-free packaging. There's still plastic in the phone. Every charger is plastic. They just don't include the block for you anymore, so that you can separately buy it. It makes a big difference, but if they really cared about sustainability, they wouldn't fly a bunch of people out to a virtual launch event, and the iPhone 14 wouldn't exist. This is the realest shit I've read, and this person, they respect to them, because, you know, I follow a couple tech YouTubers like MKBHD who went to the iPhone 14 event. It was just a video. They went to a movie theater and they were showed a video. No launch event plus no new iPhone equals no environmental impact. And this is true. Even if you want to say with all of this that they had a minimal impact, if they just didn't do it, there would have been no environmental impact. And the iPhone 13, you know, I'm not an Apple guy. Clearly, as you can see by my Android, I'm not a big Apple guy. But you know, the iPhone 13 is one of the better phones on the market right now, and I'll give them that. You know, great cameras, easy to use interface, whatever. You know, people like Apple, blue messages, right? It's a good phone, right? They didn't need a new phone. There wasn't any glaring issues where they were like, we need to launch another new phone. But they chose to, right? So iPhone 14 life cycle. I wonder if this is for one phone. Yeah, okay. They estimate that each phone will create 61 kilograms of carbon emissions throughout its lifetime, and 79% of that through the production process. So yeah, it doesn't matter how eco-friendly the shipping is. It doesn't matter if you charge your phone using solar and wind. There will still be a lot of carbon emitted from creating this phone. That's just a fact. And so if they really did care about the environment, they never would have made this phone. You know, it might not seem a lot. Oh my God. So this, without carbon offset, the gross emissions were 23.2 million metric tons. That's the equivalent of 6.2 coal-fired power plants for 1 year. Just creating these phones is the equivalent of running 6 power plants for an entire year running on coal. So to anyone that says Apple is a sustainability and environmentally focused company, you can go fuck yourself, because they're not. 70% of these emissions came directly from Apple. Their latest and greatest, most eco-friendly product so far. Still extremely impactful on the environment. Now, yeah, you know, this is fair. You know, not saying we shouldn't have new tech, or if you have an old phone, like, yeah, you should upgrade, or, you know, give your phone to someone else, or trade your phone in so it can be recycled or whatever if you really need that new thing. And yeah, I agree with this. You know, Apple or any other phone company, not saying that they shouldn't release a better phone, but what we're saying, and I'm agreeing with this person here, if they actually cared on lowering their carbon footprint and minimizing their impact on the environment, we wouldn't have these marginal upgrades, right? We wouldn't have we're just going to tweak the cameras, or we're going to slightly extend the battery. Right, we wouldn't be doing those things, or they wouldn't be doing those things. You know, we would kind of skip these year-on-year upgrades. Maybe they'd switch to every 2 years and make it a substantial jump. I think every 2 years with bigger upgrades would help the environment more. People would actually then want to upgrade their phones, and I don't know, maybe companies would start making products that actually last a little bit longer. What a concept that would be. If Apple wanted to lower its carbon footprint, and this is every company, not just Apple, Samsung too, release devices that can be upgraded without needing to be replaced or recycled every time. Right? If I could pop my screen off and replace my screen by myself because my screen shattered, or if I could replace the battery in my phone, that would be huge. But and this is where the problem with this is that we live in a capitalist society. So by allowing you to upgrade your phone by yourself or fix your phone, they don't make any money off of that. Even if they sell the parts are only good for so long. It's the whole problem with the whole modular smartphone idea, is that these companies would have to be producing more. Like, how much do you keep on hand? How do you stay profitable doing something like that? And that's the whole problem. Apple's really the king of this, right? They lock you into their whole ecosystem. You know, the Apple Watch doesn't work with anything else. AirPods suck when you use them without an Android phone. Like, Apple is they're locking you in, and you're really forced to stick with them. And yeah, as their eco initiative go, they are you know, I'm not a big Apple fan, but they do seem like they have been trying to do their part. I hate to say that. Yeah, you know, and I agree with this. You know, if you want people to clap and praise Apple for doing the minimum for the environment, being carbon neutral and paying to offset their emissions, like, no. They should be doing more. You know, they can do more. They should do more.